And now, from beyond our dimension, this is the JeffMara podcast.
Love is the key. You don't need to be a spiritual person. You don't need to meditate. You don't need to do any of those things. You just need to love. And you can love your dog or your cat. You can love your mom who's gone. Love is it's the treasure of heaven. And love brings selflessness and compassion. And these things are the only things that have value on the other side.
For each one of us, how we live today is all that really matters. How we think about who we are, when we give of ourselves in some way, using our talents, following our heart, whatever it is that we do, when we are thinking of how we can do things better or make this world a better place, that's when we are living from the soul. That's our soul consciousness driving us, urging us, pushing us. And when we listen to it, magic happens.
You know, as someone who has worked a lot with my own fear and grief, and an early life near-death experience and trauma in my body associated with it. I think that these emotions can feel like things to avoid. And I actually, through my experiences, have found that they are a path to God. That when we let ourselves feel the difficult feelings in life, or even when we let ourselves feel the fear of death, when we can even feel into that fear, like the fear doesn't exist. And we can then, at least my experience has been through that process, getting back to God. And so I think my message is for people who do feel a fear of death in some way, shape, or form, that it's not something to be ignored, but something to be explored.
You are born with nothing and you die with nothing. You're here for the experience of the growth of your soul.
Live your best life today. Tomorrow is not promised.
You've survived this long. You can survive it.
I think that we're not alone, and that other races have been through what we're going through on planet Earth right now. Difficulties, challenges, where we'd be forced to make choices that we wouldn't ordinarily want to make, or to stand up and, be sovereigns of ourselves. And I think that we have a lot to learn from other races who've already done that. That gives us hope that we can get through all these challenges that Earth has.
You're loved. Each and every soul on this earth is loved.
Better's possible. Like, no matter what is going on and where you are, better is possible. And oftentimes just being able to connect to a sense of the emotions we are experiencing are just a natural part of the human experience. And the goal is not to escape our emotions, but to get them into a proportionate, well-informed way. And if we constantly interact with our emotions with that in mind, that better is not necessarily feeling better, but better is moving to a place that is proportionate and well-informed. And if that's our goal, then it becomes significantly more manageable, because I'm just going, okay, what is the first action I can take right now, which is going to set me up in a resource wise. So the next moment's a little bit easier for me to manage, so I can see that risk, just so I can make better choices, so I can navigate that in that particular way.
Whoever is watching this, you are enough. You are worthy. You are beautiful, and you are here for a reason.
I want to share the message that God gave to me in the hospital room that night. And I had held on to this. He had told me to share it, but it just felt like this intimate love letter from him to me. So I kept it. And then at some point, I don't recall when it was, he kind of poked me on that. And he's like, I gave that to you to share. And if for you to keep it to yourself is theft. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not a thief. I'll do it. So that's finally what made me come out with it. But what he said was, such folly to think anything escapes my knowing, as when you were with me all at once, all that I allowed you to know, you knew. No words were spoken, nor were they shouted. I whispered them to your spirit. I discreetly filled you with knowing. Knowing flowed into you as effortlessly as taking a breath. Is it not so? The great I am. No truer words have ever been spoken or written. The great I am is in your core. The great I am is the light. Even when I am hidden, still I am. As my energy charged, sending me over each synapse in your brain, those small fibers knew that I am. They rose and fell to the rhythm I created, to the symphony I composed, I conducted. I consider it a tragic comedy of arrogance when man denies what the smallest innervation knows. Man thinks he acts and moves outside my knowledge. How could it be so? I say I proclaim he does not. His own fibers clutch themselves, laughing at the idea. I am the flower, the wind, the rain, the sinew, the marrow, the rock, the author, the maker, the touch that set in motion all that you see, all that you know, and all that you do not see or know. Oh, I can get the page. I knit you. I put breath in you. I'm coded in every cell. Every nanosecond of time falls in step as I will it so. I am in you. I'm in you. I'm all. Even when you perceive nothing, still I am. As I tell you this here and now, pressing my truth into your breast, your very heart presses it further in.
There's much more in life to experience than, what we're taught in the typical educational system and standard messaging in society. And each person, regardless of what has happened, regardless of who we are, what our background is, regardless of what we have believed or we're taught to believe, each person has all the tools necessary to open the doors to experience and question and discover for themselves.
Death is not the end. Death is when we go back home. We come on earth to role play. And we do the best we can to raise the vibration of earth. So that is why being here mindfully is so important, and spreading the message of love and giving and receiving love is very important. At the same time, when our loved ones die and we feel the sense of deep despair, I just want everybody to know that you can connect with your loved ones easily. There is never a need to feel that they are gone forever and you'll never see them again. They're always there for us. They're always guiding us. My loved ones from my family and friends who left me came back to me, not because they came back, because I awakened to the truth that they had never really left. Their love is always with me, and their love keeps guiding me to my highest truth.
I think we live in a beautiful world created by a beautiful God who loves us, and that the afterlife for many, many people is wonderful. And I think that if we focus just on the negative, it'll drag us down. I think you've got to focus on the positive, particularly in this day and age. I think look all around, look at the beautiful sky, the trees, the flowers. These are gifts for us to enjoy. Those precious moments that you have with family and friends and loved ones, whether it's a nice meal or just a gentle conversation, they are blessings. Enjoy them. You certainly can enjoy that for the rest of eternity if you just sort of open your eyes, dig the facts out, and get your life on the right track.
I love everybody. So I had somebody say to me one time, I don't even know you, and I love you. And I'm going to quote Albert Einstein. He discovered, after being a scientist, the most powerful thing on the planet was not science, it was love. Because love is the only thing that can break you to your knees. And love is the only thing that can bring you the most joyous feeling possible ever. Be the light in the dark when there is none. And through that, you will have amazing experiences and meet amazing people.
And it sort of goes back to when, I think it's Luke, maybe chapter 12, verse 21 says, people will say, the kingdom of God is here or it's there, but it's not here or there. The kingdom of God is within you. And when I was with the in-between, it said, the in-between isn't a place you go to or you come from. It's simply the place you are. And that is about being present, that it's really already with you. And you don't need to chase the next big thing to become the next big thing. All you have to do is trust in your own native intelligence to figure things out. And to, like I said, just start relying more on your intuition and less on what people say you should know. And you'll be fine. You'll get to exactly where you're supposed to be.
I think all of us want to have this resurrected butterfly life. But there is a process. And when you look at the caterpillar stage, there is a stage of preparation. And you might be in that stage of preparation. Don't compare yourself with butterflies. Know that you're a season of preparation, but you're destined to do great things. And when the time comes that you go through that transformation, there's 3 things that happen. Okay? 3 things that happen. The first thing that happens inside the cocoon is that the digestive juices that have been used to help this caterpillar digest all the stuff turns in on itself, and it begins digesting and dissolving away elements of the caterpillar that aren't necessary anymore. Let me tell you what some of those things are. As a caterpillar, it sees its identity in part. I mean, we're putting personality attributes on an animal that really doesn't have these, but keep in mind, it's a lot like us, is when you think about a caterpillar, what do you think about? All their legs, right? Tons of legs, and they're all doing their thing. Guess what gets dissolved away? Dissolved away. The very things that made up the identity, the physical manifestation of what this animal is, this insect is, just dissolved away. And you might be in that place where, man, I'm in transformation. I know I'm going places. I'm destined to be that butterfly. I'm destined to fly. And you're in the phase where stuff is dissolving away. And you're going, no, 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 no. I'm saying, what you don't need for the next chapter, let it go. The next part is the organs of that caterpillar then be able to transform into that which can be a flying being. And maybe you're in that phase. You've lost a lot. You've had to say goodbye to maybe the things that you thought were your identity, but now you're experiencing transformation. And that's awkward. And that's hard. Because in that point of transformation, you're kind of questioning your identity. Why am I here? I'm in this phase. I loved it when I could say, I'm this. I loved it when I could say, I'm that. It's like jobs. I'm a this, I'm a that. No one wants to say, I'm in transition. No one. But you might be. It's completely okay to be in that place because it's that transformation that's necessary to go to the 3rd stage. And that's for you to start budding those things that never have existed in your life, but were destined to happen. And those are wings. Know that you might be in that stage. And at that point, embrace the new. Embrace the unfamiliar. Embrace that which you might not have seen, but embrace that which you are destined to do. Because I believe in all my heart that the seeds of greatness, the seeds of the divine, have been birthed in you and through you. And you have nothing but incredible things ahead. The process is not fun, but the process is miraculous when you embrace it, endure it, and even share it with others.
Death shouldn't be feared. It's a wonderful experience. It's not a forever gone. It's a temporary goodbye for now. But the moment when you pass, that pain, that adrenaline, either way, however you're going to die, it's not going to be even remembered. All that you will see and focus is on this white light and the other realm, however you will experience it. Death is peaceful. It is beautiful. It's calming. It's loving. It is amazing. It's embracing.
Even in your darkest hour, you can be saved. You can be forgiven. I would suggest to people to never give up, to always strive, like I strive to get out of that hole and to get up there with Jesus. I just encourage everybody to do their best, to try to be as good of a person as they can.
It's all about love. And, you can do this. It seems like that it's hard to believe that, or that it seems so lofty, but just allow yourself to receive that more. It's really about receiving. I think that if we all could just open up to receiving a little bit more, rather than feeling like we need to do all the time, but move more into being and receiving each other and yourself, things will get much easier.
I think the most important thing is that no soul is to be left behind. This awakening of humanity is something that each and every one of us can participate in. You don't have to wait for the world at large to catch up. And that's where I think today, dedicating yourself to finding your true purpose in life, to spending some time in meditation every day, connecting with guides and with souls of departed loved ones, really exploring that primordial mind is a gift you can give yourself that will ultimately bring true healing, wholeness, wellness, and a sense of great satisfaction and understanding of one's purpose in life through this dedicated effort.
Oh, I just want to tell people and remind people something that I know that they all know. It's that we are so loved. Not only are we loved by others, we, each and every one of us, we are one piece of an infinite source of omnipresent, omnipotent love. We are that love. We are that source. That source is flowing in and through us. And when we start awakening and aligning to it, it is infinite love. We are it. And we, each and every one of us, not only are we just we are so individual and at the same time so divinely united to that one source of infinite love. It is us. We all matter. We are so important to the infinite nature of reality. Otherwise, we would not have been created by this creator in the first place. And that creator is infinitely loving, infinitely omnipresent, omnipotent, infinitely aware. And we are getting the opportunity to wake up to this. And I want just every person to understand that we have that capacity within us, and it is happening for humanity. And I'm just grateful that we all have this opportunity to wake up to this.
Embrace everyone and everything around you, because it's all good and you never know when it can get taken away. Enjoy what you have while you have it. It's truly a gift that if you're not appreciating it now, I mean, you should be. You really should be. But there is nothing. I mean, as far as dying goes, there was nothing to fear on the other side. It was just so peaceful, so familiar, and so relaxing. I don't know why anybody would ever have a fear of it. And that's totally from a non-religious perspective. I didn't see angels flying around or anything like that. It was a very real experience for me that way, but very positive at the same time.
Everything's working in your favor, that things are going to get better, that the things that you thought that were designed to kill you or to take you out are going to be the things that actually have some significance in your life to bring you joy. And that what the enemy meant for harm, what you thought you lost, is going to be added back unto you, that God will turn around and use it for your good. All the bad things you went through, all the doubts, all the worries, all the trouble, everything is working in your favor. There's a word that I like to leave to you. It's called pronoia, and it's the opposite of paranoia. Paranoia is what I experienced years ago. The demons were out to get me. The universe is out to get me. God is out to get me. My family is out to get me. It's the opposite of that. It's knowing that God and the universe and everything under that umbrella, which is everything. It is the angels. It is the demons. It is all of the beings that are working to bring about something good for you to experience in life. And so just know that there's a creator that is behind all of this, and an infinite intelligence, whatever name you want to put on it, that is personal. And so that for me is the most encouraging thing that helps me, that encourages me every day.
Be who you are. Stop searching. Just sit and listen to. Just be quiet and listen. You know, the Lord will tell you. He guides you everywhere. But we're always too busy running and going and doing until we fall exhausted into the bed. Probably didn't get much done because you're not letting God tell you what to do. Just relax and be who you are, because no one's perfect. We're perfectly imperfect together.
Trust yourself. Trust yourself. When you have a spiritually awakening experience, trust yourself above everyone else, no matter how hard it is, because it will lead to new revelations. Trust yourself.
Change is constant. That's the one thing that we can depend on.
Love never dies. Love can't die. Love won't die. Your love hasn't died. It is eternal.
When in doubt, like when you doubt yourself, right? And we all do, even if you get up and you start doubting yourself. Know this, that beyond your physical body and these walls and that bed and your job and those bills and anything that's bothering you, you're more than this. You're more beautiful than you think. You have something to really look forward to. And sometimes that's the part of me that wants to go there and not be here. You need to be here, just like my cousin told me with my aunt. Everybody has a mission and a purpose. You may not know it. You may be confused. Keep going. Put one foot in the front of the other. You'll make it. I mean, we're all here. We're all doing this together, right? At this very moment, you and I are sharing this, and hopefully that this will share and help others. That's the only reason I'm doing it.
Be so grateful. If you've had a near-death experience or any experience at all, even the dark and the hell realms, be grateful, because I believe with all my heart that these experiences have come to grow us, to help us to learn how to receive more love. Because we must be able to receive more love, to be a loving blessing to others. And so just seek the growth and the developmental opportunity that your experience is here to give you.
I would say, as you witness your cycles and you think you're in a bad cycle, you think you're in a place of heaviness, always remember the lights always come after that, the light cycles. However many times you've seen a bad cycle, you know you're about to return to a higher place. And you're in that higher place and you're like, this can't last for long, blah, blah, blah. You're going down to a down place. You're going to a higher place. Well, that's life, and everything that it throws at you, it's going to be that way for everybody. For me, for our host, for people watching. And it's how we learn how to deal with the self that we're creating within us and remaining with that authenticity. Do what we feel. Does that match our actions? Does that match our words? And that authenticity needs to always be in place.
Be aware, because many people think we supposed to live on Earth, but it is not. Just only this is part of a small, tiny bit of universe. So we should open our mind. Universe is so huge, and up to us how we live.
This is an exciting time that we're into.
because that's where change can really, the whole world gets to see it. It's not just one person. The whole world is involved in this change. And I think that that's exciting, and I'm going to choose to work it that way rather than go, oh my God, we're in such trouble. You know, yeah, we're in trouble, but we can also turn it around. So I say turn it around, people.
If one can let go of the logical mind, a new world will open. Something just magical, because then you will discover who you are, what you are doing here. If you ask a question, you will get an answer without the logical mind getting in the way. Because I think really, if I can say two things that are really big limitations here, it is emotion and your logical mind. Try to live your life with feeling. The moment you live with feeling and not thought, your life will change.
This life is temporary. We go into, it's to eternity eventually. Don't be discouraged by how hard this life is. It's if you're going through hard times, it just means you're a warrior. And, we're all here to lift each other up. We all rise together. I feel like there's an ascension on the planet going on. There's like individual growth and planetary evolution, all of it's happening together. And I think that we all just need to work together, love each other. We're all one. We are, no matter what religion or what country or what color, we are all from the same source. We are all the same. And I just hope to God that we can all find that knowing inside of each of us and just start a huge wave of unconditional love and acceptance on this earth.
Just know that Jesus loves you more than you can ever know or understand. He died for you. And if you know him and love him, you're going to go be with him one day. You will be in heaven. You will be in paradise. And it's going to be a glorious day.
Thanks for watching the JeffMara podcast. I really appreciate you. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. And if you do, there are loyalty badges and other perks depending on your level of membership. All you need to do is click the join button underneath the video to find out more. Thank you for your support.